Hey guys, welcome back to another gold making video. In this one, I'm going to be showing you how to solo Wailing Caverns, more specifically, how to solo Lord Cobrahn. Now you're going to be doing this because it drops two items, one which is the legs. Now these legs are bis for leather workers, for hunters and druids, and also rogues, and then you've also got Cobrahn's grasp, which is male, so this is the best in slot waist for warriors. Now this is the build that I'm going to be using as a mage. Now a lot of classes can actually do this. You can do this on a hunter, you can do this on a warlock, a rogue even, a druid. There's a few classes that can do this very well. But basically what we're going to be doing is selling gear boosts. So what I mean by that is that you're going to look in trade chat and find people that want to buy a boost run for the piece of gear, and you're going to keep on running this until they get the gear that they want. So there are two main pieces of gear like I mentioned, so you can actually boost two people at once. And now the price for this that people are willing to pay is around the sweet spot. Well, technically you can charge whatever someone is willing to pay, but the best spot and like the spot that everyone has been going for is about in between 5 gold and 10 gold for the piece of gear. If you ask for a bit more, some people will do it, but a lot of people will say no because it's a bit too expensive for what they want to pay. So the sweet spot is around that 5 to 10 gold for the piece of gear. Now when you're doing this, I'd highly recommend having skinning, and if you have a little bit of downtime, you can skin some of the mobs and you might get some of the perfect deviate scales, which they sell for a lot of gold on the auction house. Plus you're going to get some BOEs and other items that you can sell up on the auction house by doing this. Now when doing this, you don't want to clear all the mobs. The main goal is to get to the first boss, which is Lord Cobrahn, as quick as possible. So if you have a class that has stealth, you can pretty much stealth your way all the way to him. On a mage, you do have to clear some of the mobs on the way. So this is the route that I take. As you can see at the start, we did a skip where we ran and we basically reset the mobs. We can do another skip, but I found this is the safest way to do it, just by clearing the mobs that you've got to clear along the way. Now you can do a run in around 10 minutes or so. So you can do about 5 runs within an hour, which is perfect for the dungeon lockout. If you do them any quicker, you'll be locked out of the dungeon. And what I like to do is have the person that I'm boosting for the gear, have them wait at the start of the dungeon. Now you want to make sure that they go a little bit to the left, like they go inside the dungeon and then a little bit to the left. This way they're closer to the boss and they actually have a chance on rolling on the gear. If they go too far to the right when they enter the dungeon, they'll be a bit too far away. So you want them to move a little bit to the left. And this way they can just stay in AFK at the start of the dungeon where they're safe. They won't get killed by any mobs, or they won't do anything that will mess up the run. If you have them follow you, they're more than likely probably going to pull mobs that you don't want pulled. So you just have them wait at the start of the dungeon. Now as you can see, we're already pretty much at the boss. We just got to clear a few more mobs here. Now I would recommend using the spec that I am. The only thing that you could do is a bit different, is that you could have Arcane Blast for the final boss and basically just self-heal yourself with Arcane Blast while you kill the boss. But I'm going to show you a way to do it without that. So I'll show you that once we get up to the boss in a second. Now a lot of people are looking for these two pieces of gear, especially the legs. The legs are very sought after because druids, hunters and rogues all need them. So when people run this dungeon, they usually have someone they have to roll against. This is the main reason why someone will actually buy this boost. They're sick of running Wailing Caverns and having another class beat them on the roll basically. So that is why they're willing to pay a decent amount of gold so you could solo it, and if it drops, they know 100% that they're the only one that is going to be getting the pieces of gear. So you just want to clear these last two mobs right here, and then we're up to the boss. So it's very easy to get to the boss, very quick. You can do this within 10 minutes. Now if you have a stealth class, like I mentioned, you can do this actually under 10 minutes because you pretty much just stealth all the way to the boss and kill the boss. So you can definitely do it around like 8 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes if you have a stealth class like a rogue or a druid. This is how I would recommend doing it without Arcane Blast. So it's very, very simple. The boss basically does a cast on you, and you can line of sight the cast, and he won't actually do that much damage on you. So for an example, he's casting right now, Lightning Bolt, and see how I just went behind the pillar and actually stops the cast. And you want to make sure that you've got your living bomb and your living flame up on the boss. This way, when you run behind the pillar, you're still actually doing damage to the boss, but you're not taking any damage from him. And then you can pretty much just kite him around. It's very, very easy. You can Nova him if you need to, and just make sure that he doesn't do too much damage on you. I would recommend that you have your Evo up. If things get a bit risky and a bit scary and your health gets too low, you can then use that. You can heal yourself. You can Nova him, heal yourself. So I would recommend that you have Evo up and save Evo for the boss. You could also use Mana Shield if you start getting really low on health, and you should be absolutely fine with doing this. As you can see, we killed him and the belt drop. So if we had a warrior that wanted to buy the boost, we would have just been able to sell that piece of gear to the warrior. However, we're boosting a druid at the moment, I think. Or is it a hunter? I can't remember. I think it's a hunter actually. And he's after the leggings. So we'll run this again and we'll try to get the leggings. Now you can make a decent amount of gold from skinning, like I mentioned before, because you will get the perfect deviate scales. So we reset the dungeon, we ran it again. We're back on the boss. So let's try our luck on our second run. Now it has around about an 18% drop chance, both of the items that you will want to be boosting for. So the leggings and the belt, they have 20, I think it's actually 18% chance to drop. So it's pretty common. I've only ever went 3 runs in a row without it actually dropping. The majority of the time you get lucky enough and you can get it on the first or second one. So as you can see, our health just got really low there. We Nova him, we just heal ourselves back up. Now we can Evo if we really want to. The boss is pretty close to dying though, so we should be right to just burn him off and finish him off. Now as you can see, I'm running up further away from our person. So what you want to do is make sure you don't kill him all the way up here. Once he gets low, you want to run him back all the way as possible to this wall. This means he'll be as close as possible to our boosty, and he will definitely be in range of actually looting the gear. So we're just waiting for the boss to come all the way as close as possible, and then we can kill him here. And as you can see, we got the leggings of the Fang to drop. So this means that is the item that our boosty is actually after. So he needs roll, he gets the leggings, and we get the gold. Very, very simple. Now when you're doing this, I'd recommend posting in trade chat. That's where I've been finding the most of the customers. You just post up like want to sell Wailing Caverns gear boost, and then link the 2 pieces of gear. And a lot of people are actually after this. You'll have a bunch of people messaging you, asking you the price and how much. And like I've said before, I would recommend going in between 5 to 10 gold. But people are willing to pay more than that, some people, but most people want to pay around about the 5 to 10 gold mark for the items. And as you can see, we've got a bunch of items, some items that we can vendor and a whole heap of items that we can sell up on the auction house for even more gold from doing this. So if you've got a class that can actually do this, I'd highly recommend coming here and giving it a go. It's a really good way to make a lot of gold, and it's actually a really fun way. Soloing dungeons is really fun at level 25. If you'd like to learn more about making gold in Season of Discovery, you can check out my complete gold making guide, which will be the first link down below in the description box. At the moment, it's catered to phase 1. Every single time a phase comes out, it will be updated. And if you already own a copy, you'll have a lifetime worth of free updates for the guide. However guys, if you enjoyed, hit the thumbs up button, and I'll see you in the next one.